the work that I've been doing in Bellevue, it's amazing to me that it's already been almost 6 years that I've been serving on the Bellevue City Council, and the things that I have worked on related to making sure that Bellevue continues to be a place that people want to live, work, and play. That we have more housing for people that want to live in Bellevue, because we know that when we have more housing, then we have more families that can move to Bellevue, which allows us to keep our schools open. What we saw coming out of COVID is that we have not been keeping up with being able to build more housing, so we've actually had a couple of schools that have closed. So what we actually just voted on Monday was a policy change that allows the church properties, 36 of them in Bellevue, that, as you probably can imagine, churches have been shrinking in their congregations for many years, although they tend to have a lot of land throughout the city. So in those 36 churches that are close to transit, they have the possibility of building up to 5,000 affordable housing units throughout the city of Bellevue. We're really excited about that. We've heard that. So we already know that there's one church that is working with the Habitat for Humanity to build actually affordable home ownership units at one of our churches at Holy Cross. And we've heard that there's 4 or 5 other churches that are actively looking at how to actually build more affordable housing on their properties so that we can have more families move into Bellevue. That's helpful for people that want to be nurses, teachers, baristas in our city, because we know that right now Bellevue is a place that is not affordable from the standpoint of housing. And at the same time, we know that as we build more housing, we want to make sure that wherever you live, you're within a 15-minute walk to a park, an open space, or a trail. So as part of our housing levy that passed, we're actively working on making sure that we have more trees and parks and open space. We've also adopted a Bel-Red Arts District, because we also recognize that a city that's thriving and growing needs to have artists and culture, and also places for artists to be able to live. So we've actually created an art district where a nonprofit has actually stood up a new website to promote. They're going to be mapping all of the businesses in that art district so that we can promote the kind of work that they do already in Bellevue. And at the same time, we're also making sure that we are taking care of community and public safety. So that is both the transportation safety, so if you're walking and biking in Bellevue, that we're creating as safe of the streets as possible. We're focusing on those areas where there's higher injuries on those streets, how we do some spot improvements to keep those as safe as possible. We're also promoting Sound Transit to open the light rail, at least the section between Bellevue and Redmond earlier. So we're hoping that a little less than a year from now, we'll actually get the starter line open so we can test it out and we can make sure that things are working to get more people around without, so that if they don't want to use their car, they have that option as well. We're really proud of the fact that we continue to partner really well with our business community. So they are actually investing in our Grand Connection. We're starting design of a bridge that will connect Lake Washington from Mayflower Bay Park through downtown Bellevue, across 405 over to this new Wilburton urban village that we're working on changing the land use for. So that area right now is more like an auto road where we're selling cars. And in the future, we're imagining up to 10,000 housing units there, where it's a really walkable urban community, because there's 3 light rail stations within walking distance of that neighborhood. So a lot of things going on in Bellevue, and I feel like for me, there's a lot more to be done. The other one that I'm super proud of is that we are looking at, in our biennial budget, we have $2.2 billion in our budget. $600 million of that is our construction budget. The rest of it is our operating budget as well as paying debt. How do we make sure that those opportunities to do work with the city, we're trying to understand who currently has contracts with the city, and where are those opportunities so that our small businesses locally understand the work that is available, and how we create that opportunity in the pipeline and access to that. So that's another area that we're really excited about. In our public safety part, we funded a joint police and social workers with our fire department outreach, so that if we have community that's struggling, we actually have another tool in our toolbox of taking those calls and helping the community. We're super excited that this week we opened our permanent location for a men's shelter in Bellevue. They had been in this really office building for 3 years or so, and in order for us to be able to have compassionate enforcement around our homelessness crisis that we have in our region, we need to have beds for men to go that have services. I've been on the board of the Sophia Way, which serves women experiencing homelessness, along with Beth. And a part of that is recognizing that we can't solve the problems that we have in our community if we don't have solutions in our community. We're also trying to find a provider so we can have a safe parking program. So you can see that sometimes people are living in their cars and RVs. So we're actually in the middle of trying to create a pathway so that those that are struggling and living in their cars have services and also have another pipeline out of homelessness. You know, I would say that for Bellevue, we're really looking at how do we take care of our short-term and our long-term issues and our vision for the future, because we know that we can't just focus on one. It's a whole system approach of taking care of business. And when we do that, we continue to attract people that want to live in Bellevue, businesses that want to be in Bellevue, and creating the kind of vibrant community where we have people that want to come and spend money and enjoy the restaurants and the retail and the parks that we have in Bellevue. And I feel like after 6 years, I'm just getting started. It feels like it's gone by really fast. And in the next 4 years, what I'm excited about is actually looking at the places where I've already had relationships. I'm on the National League of Cities Board of Directors, and part of that is looking at what are the things at the federal, the national level that we need to be advocating for to make our cities work better. So during COVID, I was really fortunate to be part of the National League of Cities, where we successfully advocated for getting money, recovery money for COVID directly to cities. We successfully advocated for the bipartisan infrastructure law, where there are safe streets for all grants that are going only to cities, recognizing that, yes, transportation, Department of Transportation and Sam Transit have a lot of work to do, but cities do as well, because we are the closest to the very people we're trying to serve. And so those are the things that I'm really excited about doing, is looking at where are all the places where I can be that bridge builder and connector. I didn't realize when I chose my bridge as my logo 6 years ago, how much more important it is to be a bridge builder now than it was even 6 years ago. That as the country continues to struggle with some really complex issues, it's going to take bridge builders that look at who are all the people we need to bring to the table, because I don't think that any one person has the right answer. I think that when we bring people together, we figure out what the right solutions are together. And the more that I look around the room, the more I'm excited about, right, these are the rooms where ideas happen. So I heard an idea over here earlier from Dash, thank you. And Christine and I were talking at that table a little bit, and Nate was asking me some questions over there, and I look forward to having more engagement over here. And, you know, to me, that's what community is about, and making sure that I'm bringing the voice of the community to do the best work for Bellevue or in our region, because we are regional. When I'm outside of Bellevue and Seattle, people see us as a region over here, and the more that we work together to be successful, the better we're going to be as a region to serve our community. So thank you very much for being here. I'm just so thankful for your support.